So you have the Luma Ultra and you are trying to figure out the best way to get the most out of your glasses because it is too late for you to return it, or maybe you just bought it and you don't want to return it and you just want to squeeze out all the capabilities of these glasses. In my last review, I talked about how your best experience is going to be using the Viture Pro neckband, which the two together will give you your access, which give you the access to things like hand tracking and six stuff. Great. But what if you don't have this or you don't want to buy this? Well, there is the InAir Pod. InAir just released an update that now allows these glasses to be 6DoF capable with the InAir Pod. Now, if you don't know, InAir and Viture recently made a partnership, so now their devices is fully compatible with Viture's device. Obviously, you don't get a hand tracking, but you do get a 6DoF capability using the Luma Ultra. And how is the six stuff? Well, I'm very impressed with it. It works very well as long as there is adequate lighting. In an office like this, it will still work, but you might get occasional drifting to the side or stability issues. But when there is proper and adequate lighting, this thing works well. The magic is in this thing right here, and the six stuff works very well when there is adequate lighting. What about when there is zero lighting? When there is zero lighting, it basically turns into 3DoF. Now with a 3DoF, using this, once again, it does work for the most part, but the 3DoF is not going to be as stable as something like the Xreal 1S, which has native 3DoF built into the glasses. And with this you have native 6DoF built into the glasses. So you don't need a pod to give you 6DoF with this. You just need this. Oh, I mean, you just need this and you will get 6DoF right in here. If you want the best spatial experience, the Luma Ultra and the InAir Pod might just be the way. The one thing I would say is though, for example, the Beam Pro, right? I like being able to put my windows, like I can separate them. Sometimes I don't want them side by side like this, but the good thing is you can raise this up like this, which is not bad. It's not bad at all. You know, I just ah man, it's a hard one. You guys cannot see, but it looks like a staircase. You know how like a staircase, this one is farther, is more forward and lower. That's what it looks like. It goes like this. It goes like a step, man. Like this experience is just incredible. Like, oh my God, this is, man, if this was like 10 years ago and I saw this, I would have been like, this is impossible. Okay, I won't say that. But this is just so incredible, man. Like, the stability on this thing is incredible. The InAir Pod is just a very powerful device. I've said it in the previous videos and I'm gonna say it again. The InAir Pod is the best place for spatial computing, hands down.
Okay, I take that back. That was actually last week. I recorded this last week, and that was my first impression. And my first impression was when I was outside, it was cold, and the in-air pod hasn't had a chance to start bugging or get hot. So that was my initial first expression. I loved the way everything looked, and I was overhyped. But the more I used it, the more I encounter many other frustrations that I hope in-air fixes. For example, a big one for me is there is no YouTube sections, comment section. For example, I was watching YouTube and then all of a sudden it closed for no reason. When I opened it back up, there was no continue, even though I have YouTube Premium. And then I try to go to my history to go back and watch the video. The history section is not there. And then I go to my channel to look up my videos. My videos are not there. Like the app for YouTube on this station is buggy and it annoys me. So something that I just cannot use because I use YouTube a lot and I'm a YouTuber. I like to reply to comments. Even when I'm watching other people's videos, I like to comment, but I can't do that. And then another thing is that, for example, when I'm watching like Netflix or other services, if I want to get the full resolution, I will either need to go to a website and use Firefox, or for example, Netflix, you cannot use Firefox. I come to realize. So certain apps I'm not able to get a full resolutions, but a big one for me is definitely the YouTube thing. That if YouTube is not working on a device, it's a hard one for me to use, man. And then there are also a few other bugs that it just keeps happening. The mouse will get stuck on one side of the screen or just something, but these are things that I know, well, I hope in air can fix. But yeah, back to regular video.
I think that this is gonna be even be a better experience than the Beast. It doesn't matter because the Beast only has one camera, so there's just no way to have this level of stability with six Dove just using one camera, bruh, bruh. I mean, come on, yeah. I gotta give kudos to all the staff members at InAir, and I just want to say that I deeply appreciate everyone at InAir. They do not discriminate. Well, so far they don't discriminate based on the glasses you use. If it works, it works, and if it doesn't, they're working on it. Now that Viture has partnership with InAir, that might change things as far as compatibility with InAir products because Viture might be like, oh, we want you to prioritize us. I mean, they probably already do, but anyways, I need to stop rambling. Hey yo, so I've got the Xreal 1S plugged into the InAir Pod, and man, I'm actually kind of surprised how well the 6 Dove is working, considering there is only one camera, and it is getting really, really dark. Look at it, very stable. So basically, the 6 Dove on the Xreal 1S, 1, and all that stuff are very, very stable, just built into the glasses alone.